Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to That's Football. God, have we got a video for you today. Just when Messi fans thought it was safe to go in the water, Ronaldo comes out and takes a big bite out of their arse. It's Ronaldo versus Messi parts, I don't know what, but we need this in football. I love it, absolutely love this, absolutely fantastic. These two players are goats of the game, and whether you sit in the middle or sit either side, we thought it was over. It's not over. Some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. Well, it's not over yet. Ronaldo has come out and said that the Saudi League is better than the MLS. And not only that, within a year, it will be better than some leagues in Europe, like the Dutch League and the Turkish League. Is Ronaldo talking nonsense or is he talking sense? Let's get into it. I tell you what, absolutely love this. It's going to be so. I mean, we're sort of coming towards the end, aren't we? Really, but the fact that they can still find some juice at the end of the tank is fantastic. And you know what? Actually, I think it's a great debate. We've seen this summer the Saudi League. We've had Chinese League in the past. We've got the MLS. Ronaldo basically saying that the Saudi League is already much better than the MLS. And look. Get your comments in because it will generate the Messi versus Ronaldo debate, of which I would always probably side towards Ronaldo, but I love Messi as well. I don't get into it as aggressively as some people do. There's an interesting thing here because if Messi goes to the Saudi League, it diminishes Ronaldo's star anyway. So he's better having Messi in the MLS and him representing the Saudi League. And who's to say that Messi won't go there in the future anyway? But I think Ronaldo's sort of right. The problem the Saudi League has got is that it just doesn't have a CV. If it was coming into your business and you wanted to employ somebody, you'd go with the MLS because it's got years of pedigree and you know what standard it is, whether you like it or not. Whereas the Saudi League, I mean, Ronaldo was there last season, a few goals, that was it. This is the season for them. The influx of players into the Saudi League now, you've got your Benzema's, you've got your Kante's, but more importantly, you've got your Milinkovic-Saviches, you've got your Neves. Yesterday, we heard from Romano that they tried to sign Bruno Fernandes. The difference with the Saudi League and the MLS League and where the potential is twofold for me. One, the quality of player they're trying to buy. They're trying to buy players in their prime, whereas the MLS has always pretty much been come to us at the end of your career, David Beckham, etc. So they're trying to bring players in that are younger players, and that's a different model. And then everybody says, well, we saw this with the Chinese League. We didn't see this with the Chinese League because the Chinese League hasn't bought golf, hasn't held a World Cup. So I think that with regards to Saudi Arabia and what they're trying to do, their plan is to infiltrate European football's monopoly. That's what their plan is. And unless somebody's got a really good plan of stopping that, and how would you when the money is so big? I mean, we heard from Ruben Neves, he's gone to Saudi Arabia because he's thinking about his family and money in the future. I mean, some would say you've sacrificed professional career for money. Some would say that's mercenary, but that's a personal choice. Whether the Saudi League can be better than the Dutch League in a year or better than the Turkish League in a year, I mean, that's a major statement, but Ronaldo has this amazing ability to be proven right when everyone writes him off. But I'm not going to dismiss the question. Is the Saudi League currently better than the MLS? I think it's about to be. I think it's about to be. And right now, the honest answer would have to be no, because the MLS has a pedigree. And one of the things the MLS does really well is for the American game, it's a good breeding ground for young talent. But it doesn't really do it. The big prize is the European League. What can you do with European players? What can you do with players that are playing in the best leagues in the world? Can you take them there in their prime, or are you taking them at the end when you will give them more money than anyone else will? And Saudi Arabia is breaking that model by taking players that really you wouldn't expect to be leaving the European big leagues for another 4 or 5 years, and yet they're jumping ship to Saudi Arabia. I think that the next season for the Saudi Arabian League is going to be big. I think the coverage of the Saudi Arabian League, i.e. whether it gets picked up by major European stations, will be big for it as well. The quality of it will be big. But to be honest, I don't really know anyone who watches the MLS. I know it does quite well, but I don't personally know anyone who watches the MLS. Whereas I feel If the Saudi league gets the quality mix right, people will start to watch it. What you've got to do, and I hate to say this, and I've sort of been warning about it for a few weeks, the way you make a league successful is virtually impossible. You know, you cannot organically make a league outside of Europe that's going to compete with the European leagues. You just can't. You're up against, you know, decades of history and, you know, structure, monopoly. The way to do it is you've got to have super money, super wealth, and throw so much money at it that it doesn't make any sense. You're just doing it as a vanity project, in the sense that we want to create the biggest league in the world. They'll never make that money back, the money that they're paying for it. They just won't. But it's going to be an interesting model, and I certainly think some people have dismissed Ronaldo as some sort of lunatic for saying what he said. I actually get what he's saying about the MLS. Is it a direct dig at Messi? Look, Messi can do what he wants to do with his career. I think playing in the MLS probably suited him, his family, and his situation right now after winning the World Cup and doing everything in club football. He probably didn't fancy Saudi Arabia, no matter what money was on offer, if it was on the offer, to just go head to head with Ronaldo again in a league that's going to need a lot of work. So I don't think it's a direct dig at Messi from Ronaldo. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what spurs him on. I think this is a project for Ronaldo that he wants to, and has said, I'm the attraction here. You know, I'm the player. I think he speaks about himself in the third person. Cristiano is the attraction that's making this league what it is, and he's probably right on that. Can it supersede the Dutch league in a year? Can it supersede the Turkish league in a year? Well, it can do on wealth, and it can do on quality of player, and it may well be fast-tracking its way there now. If you look at the quality that's in the Saudi Arabian league compared to Turkish league and the Dutch league, there's probably not far off that. But when it comes to sustainable match day attendances and, you know, competitive element, that is something that football fans are wide awake to. You know, football fans over the last few years have become way more aware of other leagues and, you know, tactics and analysis. And the Saudi Arabian league has to be very careful that it doesn't end up being an exhibition league, because exhibitions don't really sustain consistent viewership. The Dutch league will always have integrity. The Turkish league will always have integrity based on years and years and years and years of league titles and, you know, rivalry. Saudi Arabia can buy as many players as they want, but can it buy, you know, integrity, consistency, and rivalry? That will be its charge. That will be its challenge. I suspect it will be popular. I think everybody knows it's going to be popular, but maybe it's going to be like, you know, maybe it'll be popular for a year, maybe it'll be popular for 2 or 3 years. How do they sustain that year after year after year after year, when everybody knows at the moment that the players that are heading over there for the money? I don't think Steven Gerrard's going over there to manage for the next 30 years. He's going over there to earn a lot of money, get his name back in, you know, amongst things. And I guarantee he'd take a pay cut in a couple of years to come back and manage an Aston Villa again. You get the sense that a lot of these players that are going over there younger fully expect to come back at some point and are just making their money now. Well, that's a problem for the Saudi Arabian league, because you need people to stay year after year after year. So my feeling is, and I want to read the chat, I think Ronaldo makes a lot of sense. I think I can see what he's talking about. The Saudi Arabian league is better than the MLS. It's going to be better than the Dutch league. But it's the sustainability and the integrity and the rivalry, and whether they can do it for years and years and years and years. And that will be the challenge, because for years and years and years, you will have to pay ridiculous money to bring players over here. And I think this next season is almost going to be the audition for how good it's going to be. But the amount of money there, and also what's happened in golf and, you know, other areas, I think the actual plan is from the Saudi Arabian league is to, you know, get involved with the European League in some way or shape or form, get involved with the UEFA and the Champions League. And I think that's the long-term effort. But it's interesting, and I'm here for it. Ronaldo versus Messi again in a very different way. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you on the next one.